Hey, I'm back with another question in our Asking for a Friend series. Before I jump into the question, I want to show you something. I'm standing in front of Amy's car, and I want to show you something on the front of her car. Down here on this side, you can see this little light. This is what it's supposed to look like. That's how it was created to be. I'm going to show you the other side and tell you the story. A couple of weeks ago, she was driving down the interstate. A car in front of her hit some shredded tire on the interstate. It threw it up into her car, and it landed over on this side on that same light that you saw on the other side, and now this is what it looks like. You can tell it's been messed up. That's kind of the question we want to deal with today on Asking for a Friend. I won't quote it verbatim, but it basically says, I've grown cynical of how people can be dark and discriminatory and selfish and even not have the self-awareness so that their own actions don't mirror who they really are. And if we are made in God's image, then can we expect that from God as well? So let's just talk about being made in God's image. In Genesis chapter 1, we're told that we are indeed made in God's image. God created everything. He created male and female and said we are made in His image. That's what sets us apart from all the rest of creation, is that we are made in His image. But then just a couple of chapters later in the Bible, in Genesis chapter 3, the fall happens. Adam and Eve sinned, and the original image was no more. It's distorted, it's marred. It's important to understand that the original image wasn't completely erased. It's not completely gone, but it's been changed, it's been misshapen, it's been distorted. And now we live in that condition. So the things that we can talk about, such as the question, how we can become dark or discriminatory or selfish, or not even have the self-awareness to know that how we're acting is not who we really are. Even to become cynical is a distortion of the original creation, of our original image, because none of those characteristics, including cynicism, are characteristics that are consistent with God and His image, the image that we are created in. The good news is that God is in the restoring business, the redeeming business. And He wants to take the image that's been distorted and marred, and He wants to restore it to its original condition. He loves us so much, He sent Jesus Christ, His Son, to die for us, to be raised from the dead, so that we could be restored to that original image. That's exactly what's going on with Amy's car. I showed you over here on this side that this is the original creation, the original image. But because sin entered the world, if you will, when that tire flew up from the interstate and hit over here on this side of her car, it's now misshapen. It's distorted. It's not completely erased. It looks somewhat like it's supposed to look like, but it's just not to its original design. The good news is I know a guy who can restore it. He's an auto body guy, and for a small price, I can take it into him, and he can repair it, he can restore it, he can make it look like it's brand new. That's exactly what God does. And the even better news is that it doesn't cost us anything. It's a completely free gift. It's God's grace and our faith that can work to restore our image to the original image that we were created in. And so, yes, it's hard sometimes to look around at the world and see the ways that we can act, the things that we can say, the people that we can become. But we must always know that that is not the original image of God that we were created in. That is a distorted image because of sin and because of a broken world. But if we cling to God, who works to restore that image to the original, that's the place we want to be. So I hope that helps with that question. Until the next one, Asking for a Friend.